Hey guys, I just wanted to do an actual overall update for the game that I've been working on for quite a while now. Over 2 years, I think, but I had nearly like a year break because I basically got stuck on a bug that I couldn't figure out. So here we are, basically. Unfortunate as it is, it's what happened, and I can't really do much about that. But I have, however, made some fairly significant changes to the game. Let me just go here. Right, so, oh, that's new. I don't know why that's being shown in game. Whatever. Um, so, firstly, I added some basic animations because I didn't realize they weren't actually working for the longest time. Somehow I just objectively missed all of that. I have finally fixed the problem that was stopping me. So all of the UI here, all of the inventory system is now 100% working with data-driven design. So everything is generated from a CSV file, and consequently, the values get loaded. It finds all the right information as it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was still doing prior to my last uh, my last video, among other things. There's you can still swap weapons, reload, shoot, and everything. I've added gravity to the guns, to the projectiles, sorry. So I've made it pretty extreme to make it more apparent that that's what's happening, basically, just for testing purposes. And consequently, I now have a day-night cycle as well. As you can see, the lights came on as it went dark, and obviously I've sped up the sun's movement so I can rapidly see it working in real time. And it's pretty cool to watch all of the shadows moving across with everything. Hopefully, normally there's some AI walking around. I'm assuming I pressed the wrong button when I hit play the last time. Or have I somehow... Oh no, there they are. Still not sure why the box is showing. So the other thing I fixed is the AI, surprisingly, this guy's got a melee weapon. I'm being an idiot. Hang on. Let me find someone with a ranged weapon. There we go. Right. I still haven't reattached the AI's weapons to the right places since I updated the meshes and things. But the AI now accurately lead their shots using actual maths and predicted target leading. So if I come over here and they shoot me, you can see they'll just shoot me down like an aimbot, basically. That was one of the most key things that I wanted this game to have, is AI that don't hit scan you. They don't like aimbot with everything. They obviously are accurately shooting me at the moment, but I think I've given them all sniper rifles, or I've increased the accuracy of their guns. Yeah. But the point being, they are very accurately shooting at me, and I can interact with their body, take weapons, ammo, and stuff from them. You know, I can put an SMG somewhere. Is it one of? Swap out the knife. There we go, and then I can reload it. Hopefully, it will reload. There we go. Now I can shoot with an SMG. So yeah, and I've added some like, what do you call it, ragdolling animations. In theory, this should have been highlighting them. I'm not sure why it isn't at the moment. And yeah, so you can loot bodies. The AI will try and loot their teammates if they run out of ammo, which is pretty cool, but it's a bit challenging to show off at the moment. And then beyond that, I've made, if I go to my other prototype map, so I've made multiple missions, which basically there's a proper loot system now. So these are just placed in here as a starting example, just for me to represent that there's some loot here. But when I hit play, the loot boxes are randomized based on the mission type. I don't have any UI displaying the actual mission type, but you can see that they're spawning different kinds of containers, some of which I haven't increased the scaling of yet. And consequently, the AI are also given sort of random loadouts pertaining to the missions that they belong to. So all of this is all data driven. I can add new types of containers, new types of loot to the containers. I can extend it further to have like specific, what would you call it? To have like specific weighted results for different mission types. So more likely to have weapons or, I don't know, food or something if I wanted to start doing stuff like that. And I believe this was like it was now or thereabouts, but I've still got my Java application which generates the data that the game uses. So let's find a good example, because this is kind of the whole point of doing stuff like this. So you can see wood stacks up to 20. If I find wood in here, that's what this value represents. So if I put this to like 300 and I run it, and then we go back in here and we try and find something that might have some wood in it. Probably not these lunch boxes. These probably should. It should be random. So yeah, there's one at 300, one at 239, one at 65. So that's the real core of what I wanted to achieve with this game. So I can now add different types of containers to different types of missions, different AI with different loadouts. So you can see here I'm defining, like, there's a loadout called civilian. They have a pistol, a chest piece, legs. They have the default health value. I think this is their movement speed. Yeah, movement speed. And there's just a basic type that they're an enemy, but eventually that will be a bit more elaborate and there'll be some faction reputation system involved, and this will be more of a lookup and relative to the player and other AI. Let me just get a drink real quick. So it's been difficult to do most of this because despite most things working the way I intend them to pretty much straight away, I do find I run into some pretty significant issues fairly often. Possibly because I'm doing things in the wrong way, or I'm trying to do something a bit more unique and there aren't any other examples of it, and the way I think it works doesn't, and there's no documentation for it, and blah blah blah. So unfortunately I would have been a lot further along if I had got past these issues before, because most of what the game is there. I'm missing content, but the actual fundamental gameplay is pretty much there. I need a building system, which, to be fair, is going to take a long time. But once I've got POIs made with specific groups of AI and loot boxes, and then faction systems and actual like a world map and things, it will fundamentally be on par with, at least in terms of like what you can do in it, we're on par with most other survival games. There's obviously some more elaborate UI and they've got like crafting and things, but For instance, crafting is just going to be another couple of tables of data, and I just say so much of this equals one of those, and then I just use my existing inventory system and I just add and remove items. And if I want to make, I've got the start of an electrical system, so I can do cables and say this thing links to this and it passes power through it and provides energy to things, and then the only other thing that I really need is things like maybe vehicles, and I don't know, quests are pretty simple. I've already got examples of that in my other game which work. And yeah, I mean, obviously multiplayer is a huge aspect of this, but from an actual playable game perspective, which there's no point looking at multiplayer until you've really figured out how everything else is meant to work. At the lowest possible levels, then it's kind of redundant. I know you have to change a lot of things for multiplayer, but it would be, I'm thinking more, it will be changes in how things are structured, how things are created, rather than the actual interactions and data that they have, which is fundamentally going to be more of what matters when it comes to it. So yeah, and it's all getting closer. I need to make thousands of assets, which I'm not looking forward to, but I now have a way of using Magic of Voxel to do assets, which I didn't have before. I can found a plugin where I can just drag drop the actual voxel files in, which I wasn't expecting to be able to do. So for instance, one of my things was broken, so if I delete this, not broken, it just wasn't scaling properly. Somewhere in here, if I drag the vox file, I can like upscale it, which is the main problem. Import it, hit start, and hopefully it should be fairly obvious it's these ones over here. So now they're a lot larger than they otherwise would be. They don't have, I need to fix something else with the materials and stuff, but yeah, so that's really cool. I wasn't able to use Magic of Voxel before, and I needed to because it has separate materials. So if I go to that specific thing here, in fact, if I give it its bounding box, there we go. So you can see it's got completely standalone materials, which means I can have, as you can see, it's got like a metal material, it's got a glass material, and then I can, I'm curious, can I, nah, it doesn't quite do that yet. I'll look into that another time. But yeah, so it's all doable, and I mean, these are just the most primitive. That will do, looks like the thing that it should, assets. I mean, this took me like, I don't know, a minute or something to put together, and I can't really afford to do much more quality until I've got the variety. I need to make like workbenches and walls and windows and doors and bars and I don't know, just infinitely more tables and chairs and filing cabinets and so on and so on. And it's, I don't want to buy the assets because then I'm bound to that art, that style, and if I need anything else, I have to then produce them myself or pay for even more, and it's not worth it. Basically, I'd much rather be proud of the fact that I've made all of the assets myself and they can be crappy low poly ones because that's what I can produce. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot more things to do, but from a system perspective, I need to do like factions, base building, POI, generation based on the base building system. So I intend to make like a player base building system, but then make a version that I can then use that hang on. Then I can use the same system the player uses to construct buildings to actually make the ones that you see in game as well, and that way I can guarantee that it works, that the data exports correctly, which will of course be more data-driven stuff. It will be all the building components will be stored in a CSV, and it will just be a ton of integers and vectors and stuff, pretty much. Perhaps some variants and things, but I'll need to cross that bridge another time. And then making the AI basically fight each other naturally. So I want the AI to have control of resources. Those resources will dictate a sort of a priority and a desire, and then you'll have, I don't know, one AI group will own the lumberyard and another the quarry or something, and then you log on one day and faction A's been fighting faction B for their lumberyards and they've won, and so faction B's been reduced to a small town in the back end of the world, and to stop the AI from like going extinct, the idea is that this island's under constant it's more like a in-between location of all the factions, like homelands. So the idea is it's in constant turmoil, and so they're sending like resupplies and like convoys across from their own lands to like facilitate occupying other places. So that's the plan. So you'll come into this like living world that will be fighting over real resources and things in the map, and then you'll also be there and can build or lose reputation with various factions and do missions and get better guns and resources and all the usual stuff, basically. And it's so close. And I really want this project to maintain a sort of open source aspect to it. So my intention is to make it so the code is public, the assets are private. So people can still see the code, use it as examples of how to do certain things, because there's just not enough of that stuff online. I almost hope AI scrapes all of my code and starts recommending it to people as examples of doing stuff, because the amount of time I spent trying to find like other examples of people doing simple things in the Unreal Engine is just unbelievable. Unreal, you might say. So yeah, and I'm constantly improving the code. Obviously, I'm getting better at doing software engineering since, I'm still doing the same job I used to, and every time I come back to this, I go, oh, what the hell did I do that for? And I come and fix like 20 things and then find out that I did it for this reason that I rediscover, and now I've written a note about it so that it works in the future, and so on and so forth. All the usual solo development fun activities. Right. Yeah, so that's kind of where I am with all of this. It's been a while, and I keep regretting not doing as much as I could with it. Mostly because I do actually enjoy doing it when it works, and it's working, so all fun and games. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this, but otherwise I kind of just did it for myself to catch up, kind of keep it all in perspective, and yeah, I have a bad habit of not keeping track of progress. I tend to cross things off of lists and then forget that I did anything at all and feel like I've done nothing. Wherein in fact I literally dedicated like an entire 12 hours on a weekend to doing nothing but fixing a bug or learning about something. So that's this is a vague effort to rectify that predicament. So yeah, I will probably leave it there, and hopefully do another one of these when I've made, I don't know, do one for the building system, another for the faction system, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm still streaming, I'm still updating things, and yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around.